Nothing like a barbell, huh? Hello, hello. Thanks, man. Hey, guys. Yeah, this one's a 32. Yeah. 32 Miller. Adelaide. I'm good, man. I'm good. Zabit, I'm good, man. Nice. Red Horizons. I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you guys? yeah, Luigi. Trying to be explosive for this session. Let's see if I can be really explosive. I'm getting up off the bench. It's picking me up. I think that was 4. Bit of bench, bit of front squats. Check out the joint. Florian, how are you, man? Like a machine, that's it, man. Oh, thanks, Leonov. It's freaking cold out here, man. What time is it? Just before 7. Cheers, guys. Yeah, man. That'll be good. It's got a flat tire, that bike. I've not ridden that thing for a while now. It might be in the shot. I don't even see if I'm in the shot. You guys can see me, right? Man, I feel like I'm gonna have this cough for like weeks on end. I was sick like 2 weeks ago, man. And I've just got this ongoing freaking sore throat and cough. Unreal, man. Procrastination. How do I deal with it? Oh, man. You know what the craziest thing is? Like, you always procrastinate doing stuff that you don't want to do, that your soul doesn't want to be involved in. You know, weight training, man, is very, very rare for me not to be feeling like I want to train. Very rare. I'm looking forward to it all the time. And so procrastination is basically a signal that whatever you're doing is not interesting you. And I always say to myself all the time, like, if I can find something that I love, I know I'll be doing it 24/7. I'll be, you know, spending most of my energy into it. And ironically, these are the things that we're going to excel at, doing things that we want to do. So if you find yourself kind of like trying to find any excuse not to do it, it's probably not for you. It's probably you need to change something, an approach about it to make it better. Back in the day when I used to study, I'll tell you something that I used to do. When I was studying for the GAMSAT, like the medical entry exam, or when I was studying for the nursing degree or the masters or all that stuff that I was studying in the past for, I would basically say to myself, okay, I've got this shit I gotta do. So what I'll do is I'll sit down. I'll really work hard for 30 minutes. Like 30 minutes, I can muster enough energy to do a section or write so many words or whatever. And at that 30-minute mark, I'm putting that shit down and I'm turning and I'm playing FIFA. I'll do stuff like this. I'll play FIFA for 15 minutes. I'll play like 2 games or something like that. And I was revitalized. I'm always kind of like going, looking forward to the next 30 minutes. So it was a really good way to break it up. And so I found success doing that. But you got to find something that makes you tick. Bag of cement curls. Yeah, man, that's some real proper heavy work. Oh, Black Fang 35, damn. Yeah, man, allergies and all that crap takes its toll. It really takes its toll. But I also feel like, working out in this, getting cold while you're working out, like it's not good that you sweat it up and you just sit here. So during winter, it's always hard. The concrete's cold, man. Right now, my feet are cold. I think that was 8. Always forget. No, Robbie, I'm not playing basketball anymore, man. It's just basically the only time I go out and play basketball or shoot around even is on holidays. When I have time off work. Other than that, I don't have time, man. It's just simple as that. The free time that I have, I train, do this, and then I'll chill with the fam, catch up with mates, things like this. But I don't have time. I don't know. And I also don't want to get injured, and I can't play like I used to play. I can't play hard, so I have to go easy, and it's not worth it. Good morning, man. Falcao, that's a sick name. Falcao. The Monaco. Man, that guy was good, man. He was a master at heading the ball, wasn't he? I remember all the FIFA ratings back in the day, man. He's like jumping and his header was like through the roof. Yeah, man, Nuggets and the Lakers are going to be awesome, man. I watched the game yesterday. What a game, man. They made a comeback towards the end, but Nuggets played really well. They're a really good team, man. Really happy about that. All right, let's add some weight, boys. Let's add some weight. I never really got into power cleaning. Always scared with like power cleans and fast lifts, quick lifts. Just injury, like the thing falling on me stacking it, screwing up something and the thing falling. Never really got into it. Samora, thank you, man. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. FB Tube, greetings, man. Wow, well done, man. Already over a kilo weight loss. Well done, dude. Well done. I mean, yesterday I fasted 14 hours, I reckon I fasted yesterday. Yeah, 14 hours I fasted yesterday. It's a very frequent thing with me that I just miss breakfast altogether. Just depends. Sometimes I get kind of like excited to intermittent fast. Other times I don't. It's just weird with me. But yeah, yesterday I did a 14-hour fast. So I like it, man. And you know, shift work usually forces me to do it, or night duty and things like that. So I'm intermittently fasting once a week at least, basically. Oh man. Let me do 80. I'll do 80. Usually I skip 80 altogether, but I'll do it this time around. Do a set of 80, and then I'll do 100, and then 120. Get warmed up a little bit, seeing that it's a little bit colder today. All right, we'll do singles from here. Oh man. Yeah. Internet dropped out and ruined the whole lot. Well, it looks like my internet shut itself there for a bit. I'll keep training. Is it on now? Hey dude, how are you guys? I don't know what happened with the internet, it just dropped out. There was like a whole bunch of guys in here that just left. Anyway. Okay, sweet man. Alright, maybe some of the fellas will come back. Oh, that's 120. Alright, let's put 130. And then see how 130 feels. And then we'll go from there. I was thinking to myself, like I don't know if you guys have ever done like one-handed dumbbell pressing. I've never done that, I don't think. Thought about doing it today. I don't know what the benefit would be. Maybe some stabilization of legs. I don't know. But I'll do this. I'll work up to 130. Then I'll drop down to 100. Do some like 5 sets of that. And then I'll call it there, and I'll get on the dumbbells again, 20 kilos, and I'll try to add all the volume through that. and I'll tuck my elbows in. I feel like I can do so much more volume like this. Like I can just really get a lot of volume in there. But the moment I start doing this type of volume really kind of smashes me. One arm barbell bench. How would you balance that? I guess you could, yeah, but you probably have trouble like tucking the elbow in unless you core stability, yeah. Yeah, autophagy is a huge benefit to health, not just, you know, weight loss. It's really, really good stuff for you, man. Really, like, really good stuff. All right. Can I get 130, man? Let's see if I can get 130 today. Ooh. Barely. I feel like my shoulders are weak, man. I always feel like in the anterior shoulders, like through here. Every time I do this, man. All right. I'll do 5 triples with this. All right. 3 triple, 5 triples explosively. Try and explode up with it. Legs bigger. Hypertrophy wise, more reps or 3 reps? I guess it depends, man. Volume is the king of hypertrophy. Like every time you think to yourself hypertrophy, think volume. Specifically like volume close to some sort of like muscular failure, you know, in the regions of like 10 reps plus. That's what makes my legs grow the most. If you get, let's say, the same amount of repetitions, let's say you get 30 repetitions, but using triples instead of 10s, let's say we're comparing 10 sets of 3, we're comparing it to 3 sets of 10. Technically speaking, it's the same tonnage, same volume. Technically speaking, 10 sets of 3 are gonna get you stronger and the same hypertrophy, but it doesn't really work that way. I always feel like I don't really get a pump doing triples. I don't really get a pump doing 5s. I really start getting a pump 8 and up. Not to say the pump is the only way to hypertrophy, but like if you really want to tax all of the fibers of your muscle, you need to add some sort of high reps. This is why bodybuilding is what bodybuilding is. So you just have to kind of think to yourself, you know, being a hybrid athlete and trying to merge strength and hypertrophy together is the tricky bit. But if you're just going for hypertrophy, man, like stick with 10 plus reps. That's what I think anyway. I mean, I'm not a bodybuilder, I don't have size or anything, but that's what I would do, man. Just pump the reps, man. Sure, you can occasionally, you know, do heavier weight, but I think just pump the reps, man. Pump the reps. Condition that tissue to like withstand lots of volume. three more of these. That's Chu. What's up, man? How's it going? CB Will, glad to hear that, man. I mean, out of all the things I've ever done on YouTube, I think lives are probably the most enjoyable for me as well. They really are. I feel like I'm just chilling out with the fellas, lifting. I feel like there's 46 of us, kind of training together. So it's really, really cool. So I really enjoy it. Like I always say, like when I do the normal, record, edit, upload, all that stuff, it just feels like it's very, I don't know, I don't feel like anybody's watching me in a way. I don't feel like there's no response basically from anyone, not live. With this, like I say something, you guys say something and you guys trigger my thoughts and we talk about things that I don't even know what I'm going to talk about when I turn the camera on, so it's kind of really cool like that. Really enjoy it that way. Alright, set number 3. Yeah, man, that taxes and me sweating. Black Hawks, 540 here in America, and the only reason I'm up is to ATG squat like the Great Divine. Oh, thank you, dude. Appreciate it, dude. Oh, it's Blade Hawks, not Blade Hawks. Appreciate it, dude. Get those squats in, man. Whatever you can, man. Get them in. Quick session, never hurt anybody. Quick little session, get the knees and hips reminded of what we're about. All right, number 4. Thanks, Anna. Appreciate it. Nah, I've never really gotten into rugby. I've always had respect for rugby players, NFL players, all that, like the whole code, all the different codes. Incredible athletes. It's just a game, kind of, I don't know. I never played it, never got into it, don't really know it, but I know how powerful the athletes are, so that's a really cool thing. Nice. Error 404. I'm glad to hear that, man. If I can get your sales up a little bit and, moving a bit, I think a lot of times, man, we need to see somebody do something before we want to do it. If I can be that somebody that's whatever, you could be completely training something different. I've had people tell me, they don't even train themselves with a barbell at all. They just like my frequency. They like my, let's say, discipline and, getting at it every single day, that they get motivated to study. Their thing is to study for whatever exam and progress in whatever career they're in, and so they find me motivating in that sense. I think if you surround yourself in a community like that, guys who are just chasing their goal, chasing their dream, whatever the dream is, man, it doesn't really matter. I think it makes it easier if you have somebody else on the planet getting after whatever they were getting after, so every single day. So I think it's a cool thing. I mean, I know I surround myself with those thoughts every day. Like, follow the NBA, I follow some of these guys that are constantly talking about working every day. LeBron always talks about getting his reps in. All the NBA guys, they're going to try and go to the off season and add something. What are you going to add in for that off season? You don't have to get paid trillions of dollars to add something. That add something could be freaking 5 kilos to the bench. I want that. Like, why can't you add that? you know, for LeBron James, it might be a nice little move on the block. He's getting a little older now, so he's probably going to spend more and more time on the low block or maybe the high post. So maybe he's going to learn another little kind of pump fake, turnaround J or something like that. You can add something too, man. Like, you know, it can be the smallest thing, but it adds to your character. Treat it like a video game. Get some freaking traits in. Get a couple of EXP points under your belt. Why not? All right. So that's that. I'll move the bench. I'm going to try one set. Bloody internet, why is this screwing up? Whoa, that feels way different. Whoa, that's so different. Well, that was funky as, man. Damn. Felt a lot of core in that. Hey, Jacob, hi, man. Ooh, a lot of core in that. Should I do another set of that? I'll screw it, I'll do a couple more sets of that. The bear, I scored a really clean ATG, but I think I'd benefit more from shortening my range of motion. What do you think about this? So really what we're talking about here is trading in range for weight. It depends on what you want to do. I know for a fact that if you develop strength in the full range, that will carry over to any range. If you develop strength in a short range, that cannot carry over to the full range. You need to understand that at every level of hip flexion, knee flexion, certain musculature kicks in more. Like for instance, if you go below parallel, it becomes more of a lower back adductor type of exercise. Above 90-degree hip flexion, or just parallel squat, let's say, you start talking about more quads and glutes. So just understand that weight's not everything. If you want to chase weight, you can do that, but it doesn't mean you're gonna, you might not carry over. Now, I've had similar thoughts about pin squats as well. Like pin squats are great if you want to overload certain strength portions of it or weak portions. You can do whatever you like. It's just Maybe integrate it a few times a week and see how you go, how you feel. But I will be very, very hesitant to completely forego the full range stuff, because once you lose full range stuff, it's kind of hard to get that hip ability back and the internal rotation of the hip and the lower back strength, all that. Just be careful with that. Oh man. Oh my God. Wow, man, the core activators are crazy for that. Damn. Anti-rotation. That's an interesting exercise, man. Interesting. So I'm just thinking about one-handed overhead now. Very interesting. Maybe I'll try that next. It's making me think now. Making me think. Do you think more volume is equal to fewer sets, but each set being more intensity, max intensity? More volume is equal to fewer sets. Not sure what you mean there. So you want to trade in volume for intensity. I mean, that's kind of part of any periodization, really, you know. It does this on the graph, you know. So at the start of your training cycle, you know, it's high volume. So volume is doing this, if I'm doing this correctly. So this is your graph, right? So volume, so if this is an x-axis and a y-axis, volume line starts like this. So as you go along, the volume gets less and less and less and less and less. And the intensity goes more and more and more and more. So it's like a crisscross thing. This is the thing about, like, there's no right or wrong answer to any of this. It's just, where do you want to be on the graph? The answer is yes, everything is good. Just understand that all it's a bigger picture. So if you're doing sets of 20, you're not going to be doing sets of 20 with maximum weight, but do sets of 20, that's good. There'll come a time where you're doing, you know, sets of 3 with maximum weights. So it all fits in, it's all part of everything. It's just what are the goals? What's the vision? You know, what are you trying to do? That's the question. But yeah, it all matters, essentially. Man, I can't believe the core, man. Damn. That's really challenging. I can't remember the last time I did any sort of single arm stuff. It's been probably years, if I'm not mistaken, man. My God, one arm stuff really challenges you differently. Really, really challenges you differently. Oh God. I've got a gift. Loving the alien. Oh, dude, thank you so much, man. You have a good morning as well, man. Have a good day, dude. Thank you for the support like always, man. I can see that. I said this to you last time. I can see the t-shirt there as well, so I appreciate it. I know you got a bunch of them. It's really, really awesome when I get support like this. Thank you. I like it. I like single leg stuff. I mean, now I'm really liking this single arm stuff. It's really kind of interesting. I mean, I'll be doing the same thing, except same weight, same everything, same sets and reps. Except 2, I'm doing 1. So stability, I feel like what's that called? Ipsilateral. So ipsilateral, so the opposite lateral side. If I'm not mistaken from anatomy class. The opposite lateral side. Obliques are firing, and I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling them. Who would have thought? I'm freaking pushing, and I'm feeling my obliques, and even the rectus abdominis. Rectus abdominis is working as well. So I'm feeling all of it. It's interesting, dude. Really, really interesting. And obviously, if you're hitting your core through something as functional as this is probably going to carry over to everything. Wow. Actually, my mind's blown right now. So I've done 3 sets of that. I'm thinking about doing 2 more, and then I'm thinking about doing a standing overhead press, one arm. I mean, the idea here is just to hit the anterior shoulder, really. Making me think, man. You know, the interesting thing is, because I'm going to fall over to the side where the dumbbell is, that same glute is also firing. Man, isn't that a thing? I feel like I've discovered something. Damn it, man. Like, I'm obviously feeling the shoulder and a bit of the pecs as well, but fuck. I feel like my glutes are pumped as well. God damn. God, that's a good thing. I don't know if some of you boys have tried this, but this is truly something. Yeah, man, glute pump from a freaking bench press, man. Legit. I feel like I've just squatted. Wow, man. Can't get over it. Yeah, I remember reading studies about this, or not direct studies. I never read direct studies, but I remember reading about studies that were done on like Bulgarian split squats and things of that nature, and guys are able to kind of lift something like 70% of their maximum squat. You think to yourself, fuck, does that make sense? How can you lift more than half of your freaking back squat? what's going on? And there's a phenomenon there. I can't remember the exact terminology, but there's a phenomenon there, basically that's a neurological phenomenon, which basically means instead of having two legs to fire, let's say in a squat, when doing a back squat, when you remove one of the legs, the nervous system sends all of its available neurological stimulation, let's say, to the one limb. So you can exert more force through that leg, through that one leg, that you could otherwise doing a two-legged thing. So isn't that freaking interesting, man? So yeah, you can do more than 50% of a bilateral squat in a unilateral squat, which is really weird stuff, considering like the difficulties of the balancing and all that stuff. I mean, this right now, like with this dumbbell stuff, I'm like, I mean, the pressing, I don't want to say it feels even easier, but the pressing, let's say, is equal, right? Equal difficulty, except I've just added all this like torque in my, there's this torque force now through my thoracic, through my lumbar region, core, anterior core, and a glute contraction. Like fuck, usually when you're doing your, when I'm doing, I know a lot of you guys have leg drive and whatever, but I don't have a glute pump when I'm doing pressing. Thanks, Jesse. So, this is really good stuff, man. I think I've done 4, so I'll keep going, man. I'm getting a freaking glute pump from this thing, man. Wow. So now it's the left glute that I feel like I need to like push my leg in to prevent falling over this way. So, and then just go for it. This side core, that glute, alright, now it's time to hit the right glute. Alright, legs planted. Jesus Christ. Definitely feeling the glute, man. I reckon that was 5. So I'll keep going. Keep going with this. Luka, Jesse, man. Mi smo iz Petrinje smo, kad je rat krenuo, da smo pobjegli svuda smo bili, ali iz Petrinje u Vojvodinu, iz Vojvodine, ne, prvo smo otišli na Kosovo, sa Kosova u Vojvodinu, iz Vojvodine u Australiju. 98. smo došli u Australiju. Odakle si, Luka? I do these but very light as rehab after breaking my collarbone. I decided here, yeah, okay. Man, I don't think I've done this ever. Maybe it's just a shock to the system, but my God, I feel like it's a full body workout, man. I mean, core, glute, chest, tricep, shoulders. Greetings, Frederick, hello. Iz Niša, pozdrav. Hello. All right. I'm really surprised by this thing, man. So I'm gonna try and do one more with this. My shoulders are getting there. And then after that, I'm going to stand up. And I'm going to get one of these dumbbells and I'll try and do standing. I don't think I'll have much energy left in the shoulders, but I'll make it a single arm thing today. I must admit, I'm having a good old time over here now. Shit, man. I don't even know how I got to the idea of trying this. My mind always churns away at these thoughts, man. This is the thing. I'm always thinking about these things. Sometimes I have a random thought. I'm like, I was looking forward to doing the double-handed, or this way really, not this way. Double-handed, and I thought to myself, why double? Like, it's a freaking dumbbell. I can do whatever. So, well, what if I do it single-handed? Well, I'll give that a try. Never expected my glutes to be on the mat, my core. Really interesting. The only negative thing is I'm freaking cold, man. I've got a bit of a sweat. I've got my feet elevated away from the concrete. It's cold, man. Can you guys even see the... Does that come up? I mean, it's not Finland or, you know, some of the places you guys live, but just to show you that it's a little bit cold. Yeah, so I don't know how long, what the temperature is, but I'm cold, and if this is happening, you can imagine the sweat drying, evaporating really quickly. Yeah, is it winter? May. It's not fully winter yet. Oh, this is the thing. The seasons are shifting, man. Like our summer didn't really start until freaking late December. Like, you know, so the seasons are shifting. It's weird, man, out here, man. Like the other day it was warm, but it's weird. I'm from Adelaide, Jacob. If you're talking to me, I'm not sure. So middle of the year for us is winter. Like December, January, if I'm not mistaken, December, January, February is like the hotter months. But it's been shifting. I don't know if that's with you guys as well. It's kind of like the middle of like, so July, August, that's winter for us. Now we've got 4 seasons. We're not, it depends on where in Australia. Like, you know, if you're talking about Queensland, all that place up there, it's really humid up there all the time, really. Like, it's sticky as hell. I thought I saw something move over there. Is that 5 or 6? I don't know, 6? You know, I'll do one more. Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta move quick when it's cold. This is the only way. Is it not in full HD? So right now I'm using my iPhone. I'm doing the iPhone 12 selfie camera. That's all I'm running. I mean, my whole channel is run on the phone. Like I don't have any gear. I don't have any cameras or nothing like that. So this is it. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if I could do better given the internet already struggling and throwing us out a few times. All right, let's do another set. Oh goodness. All right, now let me shift the furniture around a bit and I'll do some overhead work. All right. I'll try overhead work now. Oh man, that is hard work. Getting a bloody good workout from this. Damn. So you can see I can do half the weight of half the reps standing. Although I'm pretty fatigued, but still. I'll be going for about 15 minutes, man. cramp in my rear delt now. Oof. Oh. Man, single arm work. There's something there, that's for sure. Getting a bloody good workout from this. Damn. I'll do one more of those and I reckon that's enough for the first time around. I'm gonna be sore as fuck tomorrow. I tried face pulls and whatnot. I don't know. Like you get a nice pump from them, but I always felt that it was a little bit, I don't know. In terms of upper back, I think front squats are king. But maybe for like rotator cuff stuff, some of that fluff at the end. I kind of put face pulls into that fluff area. Maybe I'm wrong about that, I don't know. It's a nice pump, it really gets the shoulders going. But I think rather than face pulls, I think like glute raises are better. I think. Do I think Djuric was robbed? Technically speaking, yes. Wanting to win all the time. But when you think of the history, you know, Jordan didn't win that many MVPs. He should have won 8 in a row. LeBron should have won the last 10. So they don't do that. Is Djuric going to be better than LeBron or Jordan? No. I love Djuric. He's my favorite player. Love him, but the NBA kind of works in a way where, you know, to win 3 in a row is to put you like in a certain kind of stratosphere, and I don't think they want to do that. Having that said, he's missed out this year, but he might win it again next year. You know what I mean? So I think they just don't want to give him 3 in a row because of the class he would enter. Which is kind of unfair, but also it's also unfair for Jordan and all these guys. Like, think about Kobe didn't win that many. Yeah, those are good. Like this stuff. And this stuff, yeah, I know what you mean. Good stuff, that. Oh, man. Dude, freaking spent. think it's gonna be hard to do front squats now. Shoulders are spent. Hand move merchant. Respect, dude, go for it. Start slow, go from there. No expectations, come in, feel the bar, see what you can do, and go from there. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but it feels like it's less than 10 degrees, to be honest now. Celsius. It's cold, man. I don't know if you can see the mist. I don't know what that makes it, but I'm pretty cold out here right now, to be honest. Pretty cold. I have to move quick, otherwise my knees are gonna start feeling it. Trying to get through this workout quicker, purely because it's cold. Should have probably trained early in the day, but couldn't. Yeah, there you go. Rodolfo, you too, man. Have a good one. Nice. It's opposite, isn't it? You guys are opposite to us. Enjoy the warmth. I know you guys can get pretty bloody cold over there. It's my turn to get cold. Three. Master Chef, by the way. Far from it. He's still 11 degrees. I guess I got nothing to complain about. But it's all relativity, isn't it? Like if you are living in a really, really hot place and it gets 15 degrees, everyone's feeling it. So it's all about what you're used to, where your baseline is, and you know, I'm sure there's guys who are living in like minus 50 degrees. One of the fellas said that's what he felt as the worst he's ever been in. Where was he from? I can't remember. Was it Canada or was it? It was some place like that. Yeah, I mean, he said it was minus 50. God, man, that's insanity to me. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you're in the dark all the time, they've actually done studies about this. I was talking to a doctor from Ireland, and he says like there's like real illnesses arising from that. There's like more incidents of multiple sclerosis, if you guys know what that is, MS, in places where they have less sunlight throughout the day. So places like Ireland, Scotland, like, you know, these northern hemisphere, like, you know, really far up places that get less sunlight and or less vitamin D, whatever, however you want to break it. I think the vitamin D is the thing that they found as a common denominator. So you know, it's legit. Riley, hey man, how are you? Right, 4. Oh yes, you know, sun for 2-3 weeks. Dang, that's tough. That's really tough. I guess you know, we sometimes whinge about the sun over here, and you guys complaining of no sun. So there's extremes on both sides. You know, sometimes it gets like 40-45 degrees here, man. You can't even go outside, man. Like, you can't do anything. You know, so in the middle of the day, everyone's in their houses, and the only time you can go out is around sunset or maybe an hour beforehand. Otherwise, you can't take the kids out; they burn. You know. So it's either really early morning or in the late afternoon that you can actually go outside. So everyone's cranking the air conditioners. We had a power outage years ago now. The whole freaking state went like basically no power. Huge heat wave and all that happened. The system got overrun. I know a similar thing happened in the UK, didn't it? Like around COVID time, wasn't it? I remember. I don't know what brought that on. It was a heat wave, I remember. Yeah, probably that. Just everyone's cranking the air conditioner. Whew. 5. Young, Gregek, dobro, kako si ti, man? Šta ima? Evo mene ponovo radim skoc. Nema kraja. What's my favorite meal? I love the spits, man. Lamb spit, you know, pork spit, whatever spit, man. I'm down with it. I love the whole freshness of it, you know, slicing it as it goes. That's probably my most enjoyable meal, I think. Other than that, just the other day I was saying how much I love cheesecake. Like, I don't like cakes in general. I don't like sweets in general. I like cheesecake, and I like a certain ice cream. When we came here from Yugoslavia to Australia, we were refugees, and so we were given like these vouchers in the first few months that we were here. And I remember we went shopping and we bought like a whole freaking trolley of this stuff. It was like dirt cheap, and it was like a big cultural shock, you know. You can't buy that much stuff over there. So, and the ice cream that my parents bought back then is an ice cream. It's like home brand, which is like the cheapest of the cheap. It's called Neapolitan. Neapolitan. I don't know how you say it in English. I call it Neapolitan, which is basically 3 colors. So you got like strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. and it's the most basic ice cream in the world. But having that as a kid and seeing so much freaking ice cream in the house, like you don't have that in Yugoslavia, like, you know, post-war and all that. And I remember eating that and being like in love with how much ice cream is, you know, in the house. And that's kind of burned into my skull from back then, you know, so that I get like nostalgic every single time I see that ice cream. So to this day, like, you know, we buy this ice cream purely for me. I mean, there's people have moved on and buy better ice cream or whatever, but I still have that in the fridge. I love that ice cream. And it's purely because of the memories of being a kid and eating it. And so every time I taste it, I think about, and it's just like this cool feeling that kind of comes over me. I love the taste. And but so that ice cream and cheesecake is the only thing I love in terms of sweets. Love it. That's my go-to. And I don't eat a lot of it anyway, but when I want to, that's it. All right, that's 6. Am I still a car guy? I'm still a car guy, but I don't really spend that much money in it. The priorities have changed. If I had a lot of money, I would still be working on the car, but I don't. So that happens when you buy a house, you have a mortgage and the rest of it, kids, family, house renovations, bought an old house, you got to touch it up here and there, do this, do that. So I haven't done anything to the car. I need to take it to a service. I don't change oil on it, I don't do anything. I take it to a mechanic. He inspects it. I've got an Evo 7, I don't know whether you know, but I've got the 3 lights in the car, you know, the center differential, like, you know, the gravel, the tarmac and the snow, settings for the active differential. All 3 lights are turned on, so clearly maybe the oil needs to get changed in it or something, or maybe it's malfunctioned, I don't know. So that's in the back of my mind. I got to take it out. Hopefully it hasn't completely crap itself, but just last year I blew the 2nd gear in it. I wasn't launching it, I wasn't doing anything like that. I wish I was, got my freaking money's worth, but it was just easy driving in the hills. Like, we were looking at some houses up in the hills in this like nice area of Adelaide, and there was like some really, really steep, slow hills, like 10, 15 k's an hour. Had the kids at the back and whatever, and stop-start on the hills. Yeah, I did that. The following day I went to the gym, and on the way back from the gym I couldn't engage 2nd gear. And I called the mechanic, I towed it in, and yeah, there was basically the 2nd gear was just gone. Clutch was good, and that freaking thing cost me $5 to repair, you know, rebuild the whole freaking gearbox. So it's an expensive thing. So every time you do a repair like that, it sets you back, you know, like I could have spent $5 getting cams and freaking turbo, instead I redid the gearbox. So it's a very expensive thing, you know, getting into cars and all that. Like, it's really for people that have money. But as you kind of grow older, you kind of realize your money is needed elsewhere. What am I going to do? Spend like all this money in the car, and what am I going to drive my kids in the back of it? It's just, I don't take it to track. I don't do any of that. It's, you know, it's too expensive. Yeah. Things happen. It's a 20-year-old car, man. Like, I get it. I get it, dude. It's, sometimes I like watching these channels where they're doing up these cars and whatever, and you're like, oh, that's sweet, blah, 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 blah. And then you watch videos where they tally up all the parts and labor, and you're like, what? How much money did you spend? And then you think about the money, and then you think to yourself, yeah, nah, that's not as cool as I thought initially. Like you spent 30 grand on that build? Yeah, I'd rather not. This is the thing, like a lot of people think, oh, that's a really cool thing to have, Wow, man, 350 kilowatt in the Evo, it's such a light car, great, blah, 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 blah. How much did all that cost you? Yeah, okay. That's not as cool as I thought it was. Especially now with money being so cheap, man, like, everything's doubled in price, man. So it's like, you really want that? How bad do you want that? Like, we're entering a recession. Do you really want to be splashing that much money? There you go, Jonathan. There you go. It's a never-ending thing. I mean, like, if I was in the business, if I was kind of like, handy with cars and whatever, and I had a place to work on them, like, I know about cars, I read about cars, and, but I was never really working on cars, if you know what I mean. Like, I never really took an engine out, I never put a turbo in, none of that. Like, I know bits and pieces here and there, but I'm not like a builder. If I was into, like, if that was my profession or something, and I knew how to, like, pull engines out, rebuild them, and I knew how to put them together, okay, maybe that's cool. I'll buy the parts and I'll do it myself. But, like, you buy the parts for like a couple of grand, you gotta pay a guy a couple of grand to put it in. It's like, fuck, it's not worth it. So if you're a true car guy and you're building it from scratch, okay. But this is the thing, you have to pick your lane in life. I picked medicine, I picked healthcare, so I'm kind of cluey about that because it's my profession. That kind of spills over to my training, biology, things come to me a little bit easier, anatomy, physiology, all that stuff. You can't do everything. You can't be, doesn't work like that. Right, that's 8. Mm. Mm. All right. Yeah, man, still hitting the front squats. Still enjoying it, still loving them, like where they make you feel. I'm birthing 160 today, but like I'm feeling pretty good with the bar there, so I think 160 is possible today. Although even I've got pants on in this hoodie and another freaking thing underneath it, I am still cold, so it's not good. My knees are kind of feeling a little cold, and I don't like that feeling loading up into the knees when they're feeling cold. So let's see how it goes. Every set is going to be its own little assessment, so let's see. Big guy, well done, dude. Well done. Yeah, Saul, I've tried the full grip with the straps. It just, my shoulders don't like it, man. Like, it kind of forces you in that position, and my shoulders don't want to externally rotate that much. So it's kind of tough for me. Hey, one man, how you going, man? Glad you're here. All right, let's see 140 goes. Alright, that was alright. 160. Alex, how you going, dude? Glad to see you here again, man. Shoulder pain. Do more hanging, pull-ups, any which way you want. That for me sorts any sort of shoulder trouble out. He decompresses the whole shoulder joint and some, and the whole vertebra and the rest of it, but it's really good. I've always wanted to get Milosh splits, always, but I never stuck around with any routine. And you know, throughout the last 3 years of squatting, I felt like every time I get into some sort of squatting, some sort of stretching routine, it negatively impacts my freaking squatting. I lose mobility, I start butt winking, my adductors feel off, I just don't have the security in the whole of the squat. And so I put up with it for a little bit and then I move away from it. You know, sometimes I've spoken about it on the channel, sometimes I haven't. But trying to merge several different of these type of goals together is very, very difficult and often fails. You know, if you start intensively stretching, you know, you think it's just stretching, but it's not. It can impact your strength, and if your whole freaking existence in the gym is about squatting more weight, you know, feeling that squat workout, and if something is introduced that's impacting you negatively, it takes the wind out of the sails. All right, let's see how this 160 feels. Depending on this, we'll see if we go more or we call it a session. So this might be the last set of the session. So let's see. didn't feel too bad. That felt pretty good actually. Oh, that felt pretty good, boys, but I reckon the fact that I'm so cold and all that, I'll leave it there. What I am thinking about now though is doing some more of those freaking shoulder presses. That is some good stuff. And I think it's going to be good for my shoulder. Like after front squats, I usually feel a little bit of shoulder. Like it's gotten better since I started doing the dumbbell work. So I reckon the dumbbell work to finish off these front squat sessions will be good for me. So I'm going to grab that dumbbell. I'll do a couple more sets of 10. Start off with the lefty, the weaker one. I'll tell you what, boys, I don't think I'm going to be surprised if I pull up tomorrow with sore obliques. Just then I started feeling my obliques again. So I did the bench press one-handed, I did overhead press one-handed. I feel my core, man. Both obliques, like through here. I feel this when I mean, I'll probably wake up tomorrow feeling sore. Yeah, so, like, I don't know, man, like, I think I'm onto something with this, man. I mean, it's too early to tell, obviously, but shit, man, this is like, I'm here for the shoulder and for the elbow, kind of like, that's how this whole thing started. And now I'm freaking doing it, I'm like, god damn, man, this is like hitting all sorts of shit down here, man. So, I'm liking this for two reasons, right? So, I'm trying to get the elbow feeling good, which is pretty much on the way to recovery, like, I'm feeling a lot better since I started doing more volume with the dumbbell stuff, but now I'm like, damn, man, the obliques. I remember one day, man, like, my brother-in-law was doing some tiling for us here in the laundry, in the kitchen. He did freaking all the tiling, but I was basically helping him to like get the tiles closer to him where he's going to measure it and cut it and all that stuff. And some of these tiles were big-ass tiles. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, I had tiles stacked up everywhere in the garage. And I was carrying them back and forth and whatever, and I thought to myself, Jesus, man, like, he's picking these things up with these boxes one-handed and walking them off, and I'm following him. I'm like, god damn, man, my obliques are really getting challenged here. You know, my deadlift at that time was like 250, 240, whatever the hell it was. His deadlift is nowhere near that. Like, he couldn't pull four plates. Like, he couldn't do that. Like, he's not training. And I thought, fuck, oh, there's a weakness here, man. This Tyler guy, man, he's smashing this shit like it's nothing. And so, it's kind of making me feel like a similar way, man. Like these one-handed dumbbell presses or something. Really is. yeah, I'll let you know about all this. It's feeling good. And if you guys done any reading about intra-abdominal pressure, and like if you're lifting compound, if you're interested in strength, intra-abdominal pressure is very, very important. Like it's our brace. It's the most vulnerable part of our system is the lumbar spine in terms of nerves leaving and the instability of the spine. Like there's thoracic spine has these ribs at the bottom. We have these kips. In between the thoracic cage and pelvis, there's basically like nothing. It's just musculature, making sure that lumbar spine is protected. So taking a deep breath in, making sure that diaphragm is kind of solid, really, really improves that intra-abdominal pressure. Out of all the muscles, the obliques, according to the Russians, is the most important group of muscle to make sure that we have that rigidity through the core. It increases the intra-abdominal pressure much better than the rectus abdominis. So anytime you can train the obliques, you're basically training your bracing ability. So unilateral work makes sense, and this is why loaded carries also make sense. It really kind of improves that bracing. Anytime you're on one leg, anytime you're on one arm, like pushing something, you're challenging the stability of your core. It's basically anti-rotation training, meaning your spine's like this, but there are forces acting upon it every which way. And so the role of the core is to make sure it's still straight. Versus you doing just sit-ups. So this is kind of the whole argument. So if you can get some freaking pressing motions into your training routine with a dumbbell or whatever, even if you're like throwing a keg around or whatever, kettlebell, whatever, you can target that aspect of core training while also working on your pressing or whatever else you're doing. So it's an interesting thing, and I think a lot of us, especially me, man, I've been stubborn over the years, thinking that all I need is the barbell and just bilateral movements, meaning 2 legs or 2 arms. So bench press, squatting, deadlifting, it's all on 2 legs, it's all in the sagittal plane. But the moment you introduce that frontal plane or transverse plane, is that what it's called, you start to really challenge the core. And so I don't think you need to do a ton of it, but just any sort of introduction to the normal routine will upset the whole thing, man. Oh man. Jesus. What's up, man? Man, that's a pretty good workout, boys. I feel like I've challenged my core in so many different planes now. I reckon I'll be feeling my core tomorrow. I'm actually excited about that, to see the impact of a new exercise. I'm interested in that. Fellas, I'm gonna call it a day, 100 minutes in. Thank you for stopping by again. Thank you for kicking it with me here while I train. It's always a pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure to see people rock up. Every time I turn on the live, I'm like, what if nobody rocks up? I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's a fat 0 there next to the streaming for no reason. But it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to see all the names, all the repeat offenders all the time. So it's really, really cool to see. So thank you guys, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. I reckon in 12 to 14 hours, I reckon I'll be out here again before my work. So I'll be out here during the day instead of this freezing freaking night. Peace out, guys. It's been a pleasure. Peace out.